Hello, and welcome to Marketing 301 for the summer of 2016. My name is Paul R. Murphy. I'm a professor in the Boler School of Business. And the reason I kind of hesitate there is there's another Paul Murphy on campus who's a faculty person, and he was in charge of the Catholic Studies program and teaches a number of history courses. And I think he's been at John Carroll either 11 or 12 years now. And there's still a whole bunch of John Carroll employees who don't realize that there are two of us. So if you need to contact me, the Business School Paul Murphy, make sure that you contact me, the Business School Paul Murphy, as opposed to the non-business school Paul Murphy, who is also a faculty person here at John Carroll. This is the fourth time I've taught this particular course online. I've taught the course for many years in a more traditional face-to-face classroom type situation. I was asked to do this for the first time in the summer of 2013, and learned a great deal and continue to learn a great deal about teaching online classes. One of the things that I'd like to say up front is that if I have annoying habits, and what I'm going to do is record a series of videos. I have a webcam. I know my computer has a webcam, but I went out and bought another webcam, my little pride and joy, that I use to record lectures associated with the particular topics, and then I will put them up periodically on post them to Canvas. But one of the things that I learned the first year I did this was I had my wife critique some of my early videos, and it turned out that I was absolutely awful. And sometimes I wasn't looking at the camera. Other times I was doing annoying things with my hands. Other times I had this really horrible where I make those kinds of sounds. So if you find that becoming an issue in the videos, send me an email, call me up on my office telephone. Let me know. So I'm aware of that I'm doing those crazy things again. The videos that I'm going to record are going to be roughly between 15 and 20 minutes long. I say roughly between 15 and 20 minutes because I was quite ambitious the first time I taught this course online, and had read extensively about making videos for courses, and one of the things that the material emphasized was that anything more than 15 minutes and you're playing with fire. And I just had a really tough time meeting the 15-minute guidelines. So I became comfortable with videos between 15 and 20 minutes, and there's a few that may stretch a little longer than 20 minutes, but my goal is to keep most of the material to 15 and 20 minutes, and like I said, I will post them on a periodic basis on Canvas. I have a little kind of cheat sheet. I have some notes to make sure I cover a whole bunch of points. And one of the things that I want to talk about is the pluses and minuses of online courses. If you haven't had, pardon me while I have a cup of coffee. Thank you. If you haven't had an online course before, you might be somewhat hesitant, and you might be wondering what you got yourself into. And I think that basically the pluses and the minuses, the pros and the cons of the online course come down to the same concept. and that concept is flexibility. And the pros of flexibility are that, the online course allows you to look at the material. For example, the videos that I'm going to record. You can look at them at any time. You don't have to be in a classroom at a particular time. You don't have to be in University Heights, Ohio. You don't have to be in a classroom in the Bowler School or the admin building or the Dolan Science Center, which is actually where I'm recording this because they're doing brickwork in the Bowler School this summer, and my office has temporarily been relocated to a really small office in Dolan. Anyway, so the flexibility of looking at things where you want, when you want, I mean, that's tremendous flexibility. The flip side of that is that the flexibility sometimes is so flexible that people, kind of say, well, I don't have to go to class. I really don't need to look at this. I don't need to keep up with the syllabus. And the thing that you got to realize, first of all, this class is only going to be taught is only taught in basically a 7-week session. The first time I did it in a 5-week session. That was absolute insanity. So I said, okay, I can change this. We'll put it over 7 weeks. But still, there's going to be a lot of material. There's going to be a lot of stuff that you're going to be expected to do, and the flexibility that's such an advantage is also a disadvantage because you don't have to look at the videos, you don't have to look at the syllabus, whatever. You don't have to participate in the discussion groups, but by the time you might get to a point and say, whoa, I haven't participated in any discussions, because the discussions will open and they will close and you won't have the opportunity to participate in them, it might be too late. So one of the things that the online course requires is a tremendous amount of self-discipline. And it's tough. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's the summer, right? You got other things. You're probably working. You want to relax some because you've been through a tough academic year. The days are longer, the weather's warmer. I get that whole thing. So, the flexibility, which is the strength, can also be a weakness. One final thing, because I don't want to. I want to keep this definitely under 15 minutes. I'd like to keep it under 10 minutes. One final thing is that, if you have questions, please ask them. Again, this is a different kind of format. And what I will do is I'm going to put up kind of a discussion thread on Canvas that would allow you to post a question there if you think that it's a question that the majority of students in the class would might be having the same kind of question. You can also email me. You can also telephone me, and I will answer. I will answer your questions. I don't view. I don't. One of the things that I constantly emphasize, whether I'm doing undergraduates, graduate schools, or whether I'm doing management training seminars, is there's no such thing as a stupid question. Sometimes the stupid question is the one that you don't ask. Right? You're paying a good amount of money to take this course. Got questions? Please ask, and I will attempt to find the answer if it requires me to do some digging. So the clock on the wall, or more specifically, the clock on my little my webcam, tells me that I'm almost at 9 minutes. So I'm going to stop there, and we'll see you down the road. Bye.